There's one other item I think that I want to cover today, and that is the shooting death of Andrew Brown in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. And this happened over the weekend. 5 days ago now. He was shot by the police. And of course, you know, another police shooting of a so-called unarmed, if you will, black man. We don't know that he was completely unarmed. That isn't clear. But he was shot, and they released an autopsy report today that he was shot in the back of the head by the police officers, one bullet to the back of the head, shot 3 times also in the arm. And of course, Ben Crump is there along with Bakari Sellers and some other attorneys as they're there. And the Carr woman, who's a mother of Eric Garner, she is there and standing in solidarity. And it appears that the Bequasatonk, I think is the name of the county that Elizabeth City district attorney and the police department, the sheriff of that county, have not released a full video. They allowed them to see 20 seconds of the video on yesterday, and they say the total video is only 30 seconds long, but they only allowed them to see 20 seconds, and they were very hesitant about even allowing that to be seen. So there's a lot of questions about this event going on because they believe that the sheriff's department and the county attorney for the county is not being forthcoming in releasing the video so people, family members and others can see what exactly happened. And at this point, we don't know, but we know it has been very contentious there in Elizabeth City between the family members and the attorneys representing the family members and the attorney general. A little bit more contentious that we've seen any place else, whether it was a shooting in Adam Toledo in Chicago or Dante Wright in Brooklyn Center, or some of the other places where shootings have taken place, that usually the videos come forward pretty swiftly. They have withheld this one, and the language going on between the family and their representatives and the county representative, the legal representative, the attorney, and the sheriff's department, well, at least the attorney general for that, have been a bit contentious. It has not been amicable. They look like they're at odds with one another. And the family believes that they're not getting the full report on what's happening. And I don't know. I'm beginning to be a bit suspicious, however. If they haven't released the video, why not? And they allegedly shot in the back of the head, the autopsy reports that took place. How did that happen and why? And so they stated that the police had gone to serve a arrest warrant on him, allegedly that he was a drug dealer there. That's alleged. We don't know. But and it erupted into a shooting, and a fatal shooting of this Andrew Brown fella there in Elizabeth City. So I don't know whether or not the full report will be released. I know that since this shooting, 5 police officers have been put on desk duty. They've been reassigned, taken off the streets. That generally happens even in the worst of or the best of situations. And 2 police officers have retired immediately after the shooting, indicating that they had some dissension with the way that the arrest warrant and the shooting death took place, that they have resigned or retired from the police department. So there's a lot going on there. This is a multiracial police department in there in Elizabeth City, and we don't know who the police officers were. We don't know who it was that shot him, whether the police officer shot him was a Hamite or a Japheth or who. We don't know because they blared out the faces of the police officers that had the 30-second encounter with Andrew Brown. So we want to keep a close eye on this event there in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, and to see exactly what took place and with the police officer and the death of this father and husband, I suppose. And we want to let you know that we are watching it. We are trying to follow up on it to keep everybody posted. I don't have an opinion on it as of yet. I am a little bit suspicious, though, however, as stated earlier, that they've not released the information, I think, as speedily as they should have. So, I mean, what are they hiding? And having said that, as you very well know, they're going to shoot another black man sometime today or tomorrow before the nights fall somewhere under similar kinds of situations. I believe that the Hamite community can stop a lot of these shootings. They're self-inflicted in many ways. I'm not here to try to make the matter worse or to degrade anybody. It's just what I know to be true. Khalil Brown, who's a son of Andrew, spoke earlier today in a news conference and said, this has got to stop. He said himself, we black people are killing each other all the time. That's got to stop too, because violence is not the answer. Is what Khalil Brown said, who's the son of the dead man. And he's right. It's only that when you get shot by the police or by a white man, does it rate national and international attention. But, we can stop a lot of these police shootings. We can. And it isn't going to be because of police reform or the investigations into the police departments by the United States Attorney General. It's going to happen with Jesus reform inside of the Hamite, the black community. And of course, the Hamite community, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear it. And here's something else, but that's the only way you're going to stop it. It ain't going to stop because the police are going to stop shooting. It's going to stop because of the behavior of black people in general. That'll stop it. That'll stop it. Cold. Here's one other thing, since I've already treaded out into deep water and got everybody angry. Let me just say this as well. Have you noticed that there have been exponentially more shootings and shooting deaths of black men since 2008 when Obama came to office than it was in the years previous to that? Now, Will Smith said something the other day, thought he was cute by saying, oh, no, it's just being recorded now because we got cell phones. But no, Will, no, I think Rodney King happened in 1991. Yeah, that was on tape. Obama didn't get to office until 17 years later. So, but there weren't as many police shootings even prior to Rodney King. Now they were, and probably some of the reports were forged, like it would have been with George Floyd and Dante Wright or whoever. But they are shooting black men now like it's open season. And I don't mean that because I want to cast aspersions against the police. I believe the woman that shot Dante Wright is really mournfully sorry. She messed up. She blew it. She grabbed the gun and she should have known the weight between the two. She should have recognized, I have several Bibles that I use. And I realized the weight between one Bible and the other. I know if I'm in the dark, I know which Bible I got because of this weight. Some of the Bibles I have are very heavy. Some of them are not quite as heavy. She should have known. But I don't think she intentionally wanted to shoot him just because he was black. But you can check the stats. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But if I'm right, as I prophesied before Obama was elected, that black men are going to get shot down in the street because all of a sudden now they think that they're invincible and that they don't have to submit to any kind of authority. They're going to get shot down in the street like you ain't never seen before. I said that back in 2008, and it's happening every day, because of the whole idea of black worship and blackness. And black people have become extraordinarily violent in terms of their black spirits because of Obama. So it's, it's something that you can dismiss if you like, but until you come to grips with it, more young black men gonna die, and who knows where the next one's gonna take place, and it might be your son or it might be you. But black men gonna die today and tomorrow and the day thereafter at the hands of police. They're gonna die until there's a reform and a dismissal of this religion called blackness and this whole idea of black superiority because you had a black president, and this whole idea introduced by Dr. King of disobedience. They're going to keep on dying, and police going to keep on shooting because we have to have the police. We have to have them. I said several years ago right here, and when I was a chaplain at the 28th precinct over here on right 2 blocks from where I sit, I served as a chaplain for that precinct. I said then, and I say now, we wouldn't need the police in our community if we had fathers in our community. If you look at the number of precincts they have in Hamite communities, as opposed to the number of precincts they have in Jewish communities, it's like night and day. Why? Because the home is the father is the policeman, and there's less violence. Nobody's going to say that we have police here in the community, but there's very little violence. Everybody knows that Hamite or black communities are very, very violent places, whether it's a police shooting or any other kind of event. They are very violent places. And the more violent, the more police you need. And they're violent because the fathers aren't in the home. They're violent because of a religion called blackness. They're violent because they've been taught at the highest level to disobey authority. And the only way you can stop them is to shoot them. So we will find out ultimately what happened with the shooting of Andrew Brown. And that's probably when we find out it's only going to cause more explosion. I'm from North Carolina. I know Elizabeth City quite well. I know that region. I know that part of the world. But, my prayers go out that people would wake up. But I just don't think they're going to do it. I think this is going to continue until the tribulation has finally run its course and Jesus returns. I just don't think it's going to ever stop. I think there are going to be tons of black youth like the Kamaya Bryant, young girl that got shot at 17 or 16 or whatever it was. I don't think it's going to stop. I've looked. I don't see any signs whatsoever that black people are ready to take a second look at their behavior. In fact, the leaders of the black community are making tons of money off of these deaths. And CNN and MSNBC and these other television networks are promoting it, getting them on television, giving them national, if you will, attention for hours upon hours, saying to them collectively, y'all are right, the police are wrong, keep doing what you're doing. I don't see it stopping. I don't. But, I could be wrong. I don't think that I am. I know who I am. I'm James David Manning. I'm the Lord's servant. This is a bit of a news blog we do looking at spiritual wickedness in high places for the most part, making some observations about it and giving people a biblical foundation to the way of interpreting rather than have Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham or Janine Pirro or Anderson Cooper or Rachel Maddow or Don Lemon, Rush Limbaugh interpret what's going on in the world. You come to me and I'll tell you based on what the Word of God says. They'll just give you their worldly, sinful view. But the Manning Report will tell you what God has said, whether to say yea or nay, whether to go or to stay. You'll be led by the word of Almighty God. Come to the Manning Report on a daily basis to interpret the spiritual wickedness in high places, because there's plenty of it that's going on. And so I am he, I'm the Lord's servant, James David Righteous Rebel Manning, and I'm here to serve you with news and information.